A crazy story. This suspected serial killer started his killing spree when he was just 17 years old. One man was killed in front of his 3 children. They were on the way to buy a puppy. These were all random shootings. There's no proof that the shooter actually knew the people that he targeted. Chicago police are crediting evidence connecting Antonio Reyes to each killing. One piece of evidence is the recovery of a .40 caliber handgun in the summer of 2020. Once that weapon and shell casings were analyzed, it helped police to see where the weapon was used at other crime scenes.
Chicago police say a serial killer already behind bars for one murder has now been linked to 5 more. They happened in 2020, but those charges were announced today. Our Charlie DeMar joins us live. And Charlie, you spoke to one of the victims' families.
And Marie, the Chicago Police Department says Antonio Reyes began his killing spree when he was just 16 years old. He's accused of shooting and killing 6 people in less than a year's time. And that family who I spoke with today say they never lost hope that this day would come. Antonio Reyes has been in jail since 2021, awaiting trial on murder charges.
It's difficult to comprehend how anyone could easily take someone's life, and especially so many, in 1 year.
Reyes, now 21, is facing charges for 5 additional murders and 4 attempted murders. Shell casings, surveillance video, community tips, and the suspect's own social media helped secure the new charges in what the Cook County State's attorney describes as random killings.
Chicago, 2020. A city already burdened by violence is unknowingly being stalked by a phantom, a killer, young and unassuming, slipping through the streets like a shadow, choosing victims at random. No motive, no connection, just blood in the streets and families left shattered. And for 9 months, no one knew who he was.
There are more murders this year than last. The first half of this year, new FBI data shows that murders here in Chicago spiked by more than 37% compared with the same period of 2019. Even though much of the year has been consumed by COVID, with many people homebound and not going into work, killings continued, and then some. Here are the raw numbers according to the FBI crime report. 335 murders from January to June 2020, a huge increase from the 244 murders tallied during that same time period a year ago.
Until now. His name is Antonio Reyes, and this is the story of his reign of terror.
We want to bring you a developing story here at 4:30. Chicago police and the Cook County State's Attorney's Office announced charges today against an alleged serial killer.
He's accused of murdering 6 people back in 2020. NBC5's Kate Chappell has more on the crimes and reaction from the families of 2 victims.
The first victim was 31-year-old Francisco Magnana. March 2nd, a cold night on West 59th Street. A single gunshot cracks the silence. No witnesses, no apparent reason. Just a man left lifeless on the pavement. A month later, another body. 21-year-old Claudio Casio, gunned down on South Sacramento Avenue.
I'm very glad that we're getting justice now. It's been 5 years now.
Erica Avalos is the mother of Claudio Casio's daughter. The 21-year-old was murdered in April 2020, days before their daughter's 2nd birthday.
We were waiting for this moment. We thought it wasn't going to happen.
Today, a step toward justice as Chicago police and the Cook County State's Attorney announced charges against the man alleged of pulling the trigger. Antonio Reyes was just 17 when Chicago police say he murdered Casio and 5 others over several months in 2020.
These are 6 lives that were brutally taken. The charges in these cases reflect the perseverance and dedication of our detectives.
Police say Reyes was already in custody when the new charges were filed.
A second victim, and still no answers. The city didn't know it yet, but this was only the beginning. May 1st, Damian Duran, just 16 years old, shot and killed on South Holman Avenue. June 24th, Luis Davalos Garcia, 26 years old, murdered on South Rockwell. November 8th, Jose Martinez, 31, executed in front of his children. 3 little kids, just 3, 5, and 9 years old, left screaming in terror as their father bled out. And then, the very next day, 20-year-old Justin Gonzalez, his life stolen on West 59th Street. 6 bodies, 4 others barely escaping with their lives. No links between them, no warnings, no reason to suspect they were in danger until they were staring into the barrel of a .40 caliber handgun.
The first killing was a 31-year-old man in Gage Park. That was back in March of 2020. From there, Reyes went on to kill 2 more people, one in April, a child just 16 in May. On November 8th, he killed a man, and on November 9th, he killed another man. All the victims were male. He's been behind bars since 2021 at the Cook County Jail on a separate murder charge. Since being there, he tried killing his cellmate with a shank and has pending charges for that.
One victim was killed when he went to the gas station to buy a pop early one evening. Another victim was sitting in a parked car with a friend on Palm Sunday afternoon when he was shot and killed. Another victim's only crime was taking his family to buy a new puppy one afternoon. He was shot and severely wounded in front of his 3 children, and he succumbed to his injuries months later. None of these people had ever met Antonio Reyes before, and there's no reason to suspect Antonio Reyes had any reason to target them. But that's exactly what he did.
Accused, according to his family, of killing 26-year-old Luis Davalos on the 5800 block of South Rockwell in June 2020. He was arrested in December.
I got mixed feelings completely.
The new charges are for murders on the Southwest Side, a 31-year-old man in March, Claudio Cosio on South Sacramento in April, a 16-year-old boy in May, a 20-year-old in November, and a 31-year-old man just a day later. 3 children were in the car with him on South Homan at the time.
One victim was killed when he went to the gas station to buy a pop early one evening. Another victim was sitting in a parked car with a friend on Palm Sunday afternoon when he was shot and killed.
Police don't believe Reyes knew any of the victims and did not reveal a possible motive. They did confirm a .40 caliber handgun was one piece of evidence that connected Reyes to the crimes.
It helped us see a relationship to other scenes where similar casings had also matched that particular firearm.
Reyes pleaded not guilty during his arraignment on Tuesday. He was already being held without bail for several previous charges. His detention hearing on the 5 new murder charges is next month.
He was young, just 16 when the killings began, a teenager blending into the city, someone no one would suspect. Antonio Reyes lived his life in the open, but his presence in the digital world held the keys to his undoing. His social media told a different story. Posts, clues, a window into the mind of a killer who wasn't afraid to gloat. And then, a chilling revelation. A mother, searching for her son, unknowingly messaging his murderer. "Where's my son?" she asked. "That's why your son is rotting in hell," Reyes replied. The words cut deeper than any bullet. A twisted confession hidden behind a screen.
Social media posts also linked Reyes to the crimes. He's now 21 years old. He is scheduled to appear in court again come March 25th.
Part of this investigation was being able to take some of those social media postings and link it to some of the incidents that were happening.
We spoke to the family of Justin Gonzalez days after he was shot and killed near Midway Airport in November of 2020.
It's not cool to be driving around with guns thinking you can just shoot at random people.
This is the scene on the 2600 block of West 59th, where a 31-year-old was killed in March of 2020. Police say Luis Davalos Garcia and Damian Duran were also gunned down at random. So was Noemi Cosio's son, Claudio. His picture is proudly pinned to her shirt.
There's not a day that that goes by that I wake up and I don't think about my son. It's a lot of mixed emotions. I really didn't think I would see this day because it was just it's been so long.
And while those 5 additional charges were announced today, Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling says detectives are still looking to see if Reyes is potentially connected to any other shootings or murders. We are live from CPD headquarters.
A killer walked among them for 9 months. A boy hiding in the skin of a man. A city gripped by fear, unaware of the monster in its midst. Antonio Reyes is off the streets, but the question lingers. Was he truly alone in his darkness? Or are there more secrets yet to be uncovered? The investigation isn't over, and the city of Chicago still holds its breath. Alright, y'all, there y'all have it. It's the story of serial killer Antonio Reyes, man. He's at 16 years old out here bodying random people, man. Like, what's wrong with this world, bro? That boy was truly possessed by them demons, man. Hey, get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this one. I know y'all gonna have a lot to say about this. Hey, you know what it is. Drillers and trappers. We out here trapping and drilling 247. And don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Okay!